Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Howdy, 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 and welcome to the iGPFun Formula 3 Series presented by SRP. We are here live in the hills of Japan at Suzuka International Racing Course. I'm Austin. I'm joined by Sebastian Boxer-Williams with Mark Prancer in the production booth. You're here live watching Apex Racing TV.
You certainly are. Good evening to everybody at home. Good evening, Austin. In the commentary booth once again, round 3 of the iGPFun series at Suzuka. And I've just noticed, just as we are winding down the minutes until qualifying is done, about 1 minute 10 seconds to go, Jerome Lamy, our pole sitter at the moment, is just disconnected from the session. He's just joined in, but jeopardy already from the start of the race today. Our pole sitter, driver who has set the fastest lap time in qualifying, currently not in the session. Wouldn't even be able to make it back for the start of the race. I mean, you couldn't really make it up, could you? It's like the most iGPFun start to an iGPFun race we've seen in quite some time.
It is a lot of chaos happening right now, but some drivers do disconnect at the end of the session when loading back in to avoid a little bit of loading errors and to just make sure that they have a iRacing refresh, because this was a stonker of a lap by Jerome Lamy to get on pole position. So I believe we'll be seeing him joining back very soon. But yeah, it is a very interesting situation there to see. The gap at the front, our top 3 are separated by 0.04 of a second. Second and third separated by 0.02 of a second right there.
Super close, as always, in any Formula 3 series. Lucas Maruk to the top of the timing stands at the dying seconds of qualifying. Absolutely stonking lap by Lucas Maruk.
0.009 of a second by Lucas Maruk to take provisional pole, because he's not. There are some drivers that are still out there and they could get another lap in there. Just how close they are. Andy Flint, I think he might be close enough to have another go at that line, but we usually despawn around this time, and yeah, he's gone into the pit. So yeah, pole position by Lucas Maruk by 0.009 of a second. Adam Tausma is coming across the line trying to improve his time. He's sitting in 12th place. He comes across the line. Tausma, does he improve? No, he does not. He's just going to be coming across the line right there. Some other drivers in their laps. Victor Barris down in 26. Well, he's matching his number, 269 in 26th place.
Yeah, he almost needs to be in 26.9 places to make that right. I'd quite like to see him try, if I'm honest. Through 130R we go. One of the most iconic corners at Suzuka. All eyes focusing on the first apex of the bus stop chicane. Try not to take too much curb on the right hand and move across to the left. You can use a little bit more curve. Careful now through the final corner, turn 18. So easy to lose the rear. Across the line goes Victor Barris. Can he improve? One of the last drivers out on track, and he has improved. He's within a second of Lucas Maruk. 26 drivers covering a second of lap time. I mean, absolutely incredible. Romanelli at the moment in 10th place. Can he improve? Can he put himself further up towards the front of the field? Of course, qualifying isn't everything in these Formula 3 cars, Austin, but it's always nice to be further up the field. I don't think Romanelli has managed to do it. But
Joris Bloom behind him did improve. He jumps up to 18th place. Joris Bloom has some support in our YouTube chat already, so he's going to be very happy about that. Joris Bloom also had the overtake of the week highlighted on the iGPFun Twitter with his holding it around the outside he lost the position in the opening corner, but got it right back by passing through the grass at the Dunlop chicane in Fuji last week, and Fuji was absolutely epic of a race.
Oh, that move lives rent-free in my mind. Sublime driving by him, and showing his caliber once again by improving in the final seconds of qualifying when all the pressure is on you is undoubtedly difficult. So great job by him. Having a quick look at the weather conditions, 17 kilometers an hour is the wind, and Austin, you know as good as anybody that's going to be difficult for the drivers. It's going to be difficult for the cars to remain planted to the ground in some corners. Gone down to 12 kilometers now as we have our grid up and ready to go.
Yeah, Lucas Maruk will be starting up on pole position by 9,000ths of a second ahead of Jerome Lanley, followed by Tony Jimenez, Giuseppe Lafaro, Rodrigo Duran, Luca Verani, Evan Way, Simon Fessi, Giacomo Morga, Alessandro Romanelli in 10th place. They're followed by Andy Flitt and Adam Talsma. The Scuderia Racing Forces in 12th and 11th. They're followed by Alistair Hay, Will McIntyre Jones, Michael Coffrey, Clark Woods, Simon Gabriel, Joris Bloom, Nicholas Westman, Sue Millen, Ben White, Hector Balaguer, Richard Van Veen, Robert Ridgway in 24th. Dylan Rolandson, Victor Barris, Vyacheslav Potapenko, all the way from Ukraine in 27th. Alan Day, Alvaro Marinero, Nick Carney, Frankie Franchica in 31st. James Luis, Ben Goatee, Zoltan Zomer, Jeffrey Brewer, Alan Lee in 36. Matt Brewer, Patrick Olson, Patrick Rollins, Giovanni Saletto, Pedro Jabarba, Matthew Gracie, Dagan Ariel, Kieran Richie Robertson, and Noel Richie Robertson, Colin Nickel, Felipe Dantas, and Greg Smith. At the end of our 48-car grid, the last two cars did not put in a lap time.
We're going to have at least 47 maximum starting. Michael Coffrey, who was, if I recall correctly, 15th place, I don't think is in the session, so he won't be taking the starts. We're already one car down before we've even crossed the start-finish line. Watch for turn 1, such an easy overtaking opportunity. Of course, in the iGPFun series, you're not really meant to allow to start overtaking any drivers until after turn 9 or Degna 2, but there might be a few opportunistic drivers out there, Austin.
It is time to get ready to rock and roll as we go green, green, green here at Suzuka. And it's a great start by Lucas Maruk and Tony Jimenez in that outside row. I think Jimenez might have jumped the start just a tad bit early, but they definitely got the start right there. Jerome Lanley covers off Victor Barris by holding around to the outside as they're side-by-side through turns 1 and 2 at the opening corner. Jimenez and Lafaro still side by side. Jimenez trying to hold around to the outside, but Lafaro's right onto the in there as they enter the S's right there. They're still side by side. Rodrigo Duran is right behind him with Luca Verani right behind him even more. Heading into the long left-hander, they finally straighten it out right there. It is Maruk, Lanley, Jimenez, Lafaro, Duran, Verani, Way, Fessi, Romanelli, and Talsma, your top 10. But everybody 45 cars deep, nose to tail right now as they head through Degna 1 and 2, and now the overtakes can go flying.
They can indeed. They've all been told to be very cautious of the hairpin. Don't want to see any incidents down there. Down the inside goes the number 6 car. That's Giuseppe Lafaro having a look at Tony Jimenez. They're side by side further down the field. Clark Williams sticking it all the way around the outside of the hairpin. Everybody making their way safely through. Up towards Spoon Corner we go. Such a tricky corner. They're side by side. Still, they've all got to sort themselves out before they hit the brakes. This boom corner, they just about do. There's somebody running off the track. I think that's Alistair Hay up ahead. That's going to be compromised.
I believe it was Alistair Hay, but up to our leaders. Our leaders are going side by side, heading into 130R. Lucas Maruka, Jerome Lamley onto the outside, Maruka onto the inside. Side by side they go. Maruka getting onto the curb on the inside of the 130R, but he gets the lead. But now looking down into the triangle chicane, down to the inside. Here comes Lamley. Lamley getting onto the curb, but now it's Maruka onto the curbs, and Lamley takes the lead from Lucas Maruka.
Lamley just knew exactly where to place his car, forced Lucas Maruka to defend, go over the curves where there's just simply no grip, and he had to wait to get the throttle down. Jerome Lamey, though, coming under pressure as we head towards the ironically named first turn. Technically counts as one includes turns 1 and 2. Alexander Bramanili down in 10th place where he started, looking to make his way up into 9th. Patrick Olsen down in 33rd place, trying to get past Matt Brewer. Can't do anything about it through turn 1. Runs a little bit on the curve. That's going to compromise him and allow Nick Carty behind him to make his way through. Many drivers not making the gains that we normally see on the opening lap. Just goes to show how clean it's been out there, Austin. You know, not really seeing any major incidents. They're all sort of just very politely scrapping it out. Lafaro's been off the track at some point, I think after Degner too.
Richard Van Veen's off the track in the background, I think heading into, coming out of the long left-hander, heading into Degner. But this is Murgia down to the inside, the Italian of the number 54 car, making it absolutely work on Romanelli. I think they might be teammates though, so that might have been playing, but up ahead is definitely not teammate on teammate. Lafaro Giuseppe under pressure by Rodrigo Duran, the Spaniard, trying to get some of that smooth operator magic going on right now, right behind Giuseppe Lafaro.
Rodrigo Duran looming large in the mirror, has been overtaken by Lafaro a few corners ago. He's going to be wanting to make his way back. 130R is a scary place to overtake, but it certainly can be done, but he chooses just to follow Lafaro through. Goes to the inside. Head down towards the Casio and triangle chicane on the inside. Go, and there's going to be
contact. Contact, they lock the wheels, they both get popped up into the air just a little bit, but they kept on going. Nobody looks like they're too damaged that much to not continue, so they continue going. They might have a little bit of special damage, but as close in Luca Veroni onto the back of them right now. Later on the pack, Simon Gabriel, Luca down to the inside. They're side by side with Alistair Hay. Hay is up ahead. They have a car exiting the pit lane, so Gabriel's going back onto the inside of Hay and heading into turns 1 and 2 right now of the first corner. And Gabriel unable to make that move. There was a car to stop at the exit of pit lane, and it's probably just going to be staying there until everybody gets past, but that's a very precarious place to be parked up right there, especially if there are cars side by side, as Victor Barris almost gets pushed out wide into Marinette, into Alvaro right behind him.
Oh, so close to contact. You don't really see cars racing through the S's too often. It just goes to show the difficulty of the corners. If you get offline, you just compromise, and you don't tend to want to make a move through there, but Maranello definitely felt like he wanted to have a go up at the front of the field. Jerome Lamey starting to gap Lucas Maruka. The gap is up to 0.6 of a second now, but Lucas Maruka still firmly within that slipstream range. Will be getting all of that straight line speed benefit. Last lap though, Jerome Lamey set the fastest lap time, a 10th quicker than Lucas Maruka in second place.
He slides out wide just a little bit, hits that curb on the entry. That's going to be allowing Lucas Maruka to close down that gap right there, as it is a drag race right now between Lamley and Maruka. The top 3 in their own little draft, and then is that fight for 4th place as Lafaro and Dorana go side by side, heading into 130R right behind him, but around the outside. Duran holds off Lafaro as someone Fessy dives it down to the inside of Luca Verani. Verani went onto the brakes a little bit early. Fessy jumps the curb right there for 6th place.
Fessy playing devil's, dancing with the devil, I should say, over the curve. So easy to end up backwards after even looking at the wrong, but manages to get away, and even with a position to boot. So great job by Simone Fessy. Can he catch up to this Lafaro Duran battle up ahead? If Luca Verani has anything to do with it, he wants to be the one to catch up, but they all look like they've formed a big 4-way train now for 4th place overall in this race. Early days though 4 laps out of 26 gone. Luca Varani knows how to bide his time, play his cards right, and end up at the front of the field when it matters. But I have to say that this Duran-Lafaro fight, although however entertaining it is for us commentators in the booth, it's not helping their races. Jimenez, Maruk, Lamy all just disappearing up the road.
Duran went out a little bit wide, exiting Degna 1, and that's brought him away from Lafaro went wide from Duran, and there's been a massive incident. McIntyre Jones and Alistair Hay are both went into the pit lane. Alistair Hay is actually still out there, but a 2-car collision exiting Degna 2. Yeah, there's a car on the wall on the exit of Degna 2. I think Hay and McIntyre Jones went into each other as, well, this is exactly what we're going to see. It is Will McIntyre Jones right now heading into Degna's 1. There is Hay right behind. Oh, he got upset over the curbs, and he comes across right into Hay's path, and they get locked up together. Unfortunate for Alistair Hay, innocent party and all that. McIntyre Jones got onto the curb and unable to control the car right there. The car just went out from under him. They got beached on the curbs, and well, the underlying plank of wood, the right height plank, as some might call it, got hooked onto a curb and just launched it to the right.
Yeah, it's a very common accident around here. You can also get it on the exit of Spoon Corner as well. Oh, there's somebody spinning in the background. I think that was the 76 car. I think that's Goatee having a little bit of a spin at the final chicane.
No. It's Patrick Olsen.
It's Patrick Olsen. So I think Getty has also had some form of incident. According to
I think Getty might have. I think Ben might have was at the start of all that, but incidents already riddling lap number 5 as Robert Ridgway is side by side with Rollinson.
Yeah, the old R's are very difficult when you're trying to talk quick. Robert Ridgway, that's almost like a little bit of a tongue twister. Robert Ridgway, though, doing a great job. Up in 21st place, up 3 positions from where he started, looking to make it 4 positions. Darren Rowlinson is his next target. A little bit wide though through Degna 2. That is, in fact, that's going to compromise his run up towards the hairpin. Rowlinson now on the back of Ben White. Ben White having to look in his mirror, starting to think about where he's going to defend. You know, can he? Is Maruk overtakes Lamy. Lamy's made a mistake. That's it, Spoon. Our race leader's had some form of issue with Spoon. Lost the rear. And he's down the order. Rear tyres so hot. Barely manages to keep it in a straight line. And let's have a look.
It's that 70-kilometer win. He must have caught the win at some odd point right there. He got onto the curb. Oh, he's just got onto the curb right there. The back end just went out right there. Because the curbs are serrated right here, so you just lost all the outside grip you had on the right side because the tires just dropped off. You lost all that contact patch, and around you go. Jerome Lanley, your former leader, is down into 10th right now.
It's just what I was saying. We saw what happened to Will McIntyre Jones a few laps ago, and I said it can happen at Spoon, and that's exactly what happens when you get wide. The rear just loses grip, and around you go. Nothing you can do. Now Jerome Lamy coming under pressure from that. That's Talsma having a look. Murgio's had some form of issue.
Oh, there's more contact up ahead. Big contact.
Crash. Oh, more crashes in the background. There's another car.
White's involved, Ballagher's involved, Andy Flint's involved, and I believe Simon Gabriel avoided that as well. But there is a massive crash at the start of the SS after turns 1 and 2. Potapenko was involved as well. Giancarlo Moria is involved. Hector Ballagher's involved. Who isn't involved and who isn't affected by this crash? That is a astounding incident right there.
Quite sure what caused that. Looked like a car had spun on the exit of turn 2. Very easy to do in these cars. Of course, no traction control to assist the drivers, but Jerome Lamy got caught up in that. And of course, he hadn't have made the mistake at Spoon a lap ago, he wouldn't even have been anywhere near the issue. That's just sort of the danger that you can have when you're fighting lower down the field. So this is Giacomo Murgia coming into turn 1, going to run too wide onto the curb at this point.
Oh, really wide.
Hopping into the gravel, in fact, loses the rear, holds his brakes.
Oh, right in front of Jerome Lanley, and you see he just got his nose chopped by Simon Gabriel, and he's right at the exit of the corner. He's holding his brakes right there, probably letting everybody know, but everybody is pretty much arriving at that corner, and there he goes into the wall. But that was just a lot of people going off track, probably a little bit startled on where he was going to be. But, you know, for a few of the drivers, a very promising spot to be in. For most of them, a very unfortunate area. Simon Fessy under pressure by Giuseppe Lafaro. Giuseppe getting a good run on Simon Fessy, but with that incident right there, who's picked up damage from that?
That's just such a good point. We're not going to really find out as Lafaro and Fessy are side by side through turn one. Simone Fessy almost barging his way. Oh, sideways on the exit. Lafaro can't do anything about it. Just the grip that Simone Fessy had, even though when he was going sideways. This is Clark Williams and Westman battling it out in the very same spot we saw just a few seconds ago. But unlike Simone Fessy, Clark Williams can't make the move as we head up the S's. And I think involved in that incident, or actually I think he had a separate incident while all of that was going on, Austin, was Hector Balago. You mentioned him, he was off the track, he's actually returned to the pit, so I think he's had some form of issue as we see Jerome Lamy trying to get past Gabriel, makes him go defensive. Westman off the track, locking up into Degner 2. This is the perfect opportunity for Clark Williams. He's going to have to go all the way around the outside of the hairpin. It can be done. Watch for the switchback here.
Well, he did around the outside earlier on this race. Can he do it again? He went deep onto the entry. Can he get him off the exit? He's alongside the exit. Now he's going to be down to the inside right here at 300R. And it's Clark Williams making another around the outside move. Set up at the hairpin and then fired it home in the following corner into Spoon. Jerome Langley falls down to 11th now after avoidance of that incident. Someone Gabriel. Oh, the back end gets kicked off of Langley as Gabriel goes wide and hits the curb entry at Spoon corner on the exit right there as they are side by side through 130R right now. Fessy and Lafaro chasing down Luca Ferrani. Lafaro looking down to the inside. Lafaro is on the brakes. He gets onto the curb, but Fessy's onto the curb, onto the inside. They push each other wide and off the track right behind Luca Ferrani. Lafaro has somehow kept the car under control right there, and he's kept for 5th place, but Simon Fessy is going to be in a straight line, getting a little bit of draft from Luca Ferrani up ahead. And Simon Fessy under pressure by Romanelli. Romanelli, oh, he wants to make it 3 wide, but he probably thought best about that as it's Lafaro going down to the inside. Romanelli looking down to the inside right now of Simon Fessy and trying to hold it around to the outside, but Fessy hits the inside curb right there onto the entry of the S's. And this is good for Romanelli, but Fessy is still right there. They're still side by side and still side by side, snaking through the S's right now side by side, but Simon Fessy falls to Romanelli in the battle for 6th place. Brilliant set of corners by these two. And here comes Way.
Well, he's so close to contact with Simone Fessy. Simone Fessy down the inside in Degner 1. Will he be able to get it stopped for Degner 2? Is the
Romanelli's had an issue.
Romanelli is the one that actually went deep, and that's going to allow Simone Fessy to go around the outside of the hairpin. Certainly is.
Little revenge.
Yeah, revenge. Romanelli, though, so close to spinning on the exit. Thought he was giving the place to Simone Fessy, but he was just braking a lot earlier. Evan Way almost makes contact with Romanelli once again. The places are swapping left, right, and centre. It's Simone Fessy 6th, Evan Way 7th. Romanelli now down in 8th place. Williams gets past Gabriel. So Clark Williams having a great drive. We saw him a few laps ago, making his way past, who is it? Actually, I think the driver that he was overtaking, he's dropped off the Westman. So yes. Westman's had some form of issue because he was up there just behind Clark Williams. So Westman now down to 25th place. Evan Way looking at Simone Fessy, setting him up for the move into the braking zone of the chicane, just putting him offline, compromising his entry, allowing him to take less speed through the corner. Evan Way capitalizing on that as we head down the straight towards turn 1. I wouldn't count Romanelli out one bit. He is looking absolutely rapid in that 20 car.
It's just unfortunate for Romanelli that exiting the corners, he looks to be having incidents. Speaking of having incidents, Victor Barris is going slow. Look at the front left, it's damaged. He's got a damaged car, damaged front wing, and I think he's got damaged suspension as well as Victor Barris drops down and heads into the pit lane. A very safe entry into the pits. He was letting everybody by right there in the chicane, exiting 130R. We're going to get a replay of what's happened to Victor Barris when we can. But that is unfortunate to see Victor involved in there because he's a little feisty one out there, and it's always entertaining to watch Victor out on track. Our biggest mover right now is sitting in 19th place. It is Felipe Dantas the Brazilian up 28 spots in 19th. And Simon Gabriel has had an issue. He's fallen down the field.
Yeah, as we see, we actually might even see Gabriel. As we have a look at Felipe Dantas, great move by him.
There's
this is Simone Gabriel
Gabriel
down the inside of Van Veen. Van Veen having to go all the way around the outside of the hairpin. Almost captures the curb. Never seen a car go so wide through the hairpin without ending up in the gravel trap, but he does a great job. This is what happened to Victor Barris. It's earlier on in the lap. This is Degner 1, so he's got a long way to travel with the damaged car.
He's straddling the curb.
Oh, there's a car
on
off
the inside, and nowhere for Victor Barris to go. Nowhere to slow down. And, oh, it's just chaos. Another car slid off and into the wall. I think that might have been Frankie or Nicholas Westman. I'm not sure who it was exactly, but it's just chaos on what is happening at the exit of that corner.
Yeah,
what to do. Always crazy as this is. Andy Flint side by side with Darren Rollinson. Rollinson able to hold it right here, but here comes Flint right back down to the inside of the 36 of Rollinson. Andy Flint and Rollinson side by side. Are we going to be seeing Robert Ridgway looking down to the inside? Yes, we are. 3 wide here at Suzuka, down to the inside. Ridgway gets Flint right there and around the outside. Rollinson on Ridgway ahead of Flint.
He must be very confused by that little set of action. He was looking at getting into 14th place, but he finds himself now in 16th. So, yeah, I think he had his eyes on the prize, as it were. Didn't really see Robert Ridgway come through. And Robert Ridgway just decided, nope, this is my time to strike, and he did it super blindly down the inside, broke just as late as he needed to, managed to collect it all up before the apex. Simone Gabriel now down into 19th place. Felipe Dantas getting past Gabriel. Gabriel's dropping, so I think he might have had some form of issue out on track. Yeah, he's still off the track. He's half on.
Oh, back
half
left
off.
wheel. Back left. The back left wheel is not on the car. It's bouncing around as they slide through data. How they kept that car on track right there, but they've had contact, and the back left wheel is definitely damaged.
It's not off the car for me, but it does look like he's got some steering damage or lock up into the hairpin.
Look at the left
oh, he's got
front.
so
the
much
wing
oversteer.
damage.
So
wing
much
damage as well.
Yeah, you can actually, as we ride on board with Simone Gabriel, you can see he's having to put quite a lot of left lock in just to keep the car going any form of straight. Head into speed. Oh, he's touched the grass on the entry to spoon. That's not going to help his cause one bit. Somehow manages to gather up the oversteer and ends with managing to face forwards actually on the exit of spoon, which I didn't think, and I don't think he thought would happen as he touched the grass on entry. We have Popachenko, the number 24 car, and Ben White battling. Ben White was the car, or at least it has the same livery as one of the cars that was sideways at Degner 1, and that's because it was, yeah, we're watching that replay, weren't we, of the drivers going off at Degner 2, and I think it was Ben White who was the one that had spun for the first time, so Ben White down the order. Richard Van Veen as well in 18th place. Felipe Dantas wanting to make his tally even more. He's now up 30 places from where he started.
Kotopenko got a run, but it's being denied by Ben White, sending it into turns 1 and 2 on the Ukrainian. And Kotopenko trying to charge back and into the S's right here on Ben White. Kotopenko's been having a good day, up 7 spots. Felipe Dantas has hit number 30 now. 30 overtakes today for Felipe Dantas in 17th. And Mark Williams has had an incident in Degner. It looks like as they've fallen back just a little bit. They've tripped our off-track thing. Up ahead, this is Adam Tausma under pressure by Jerome Lamley, our former leader after his spin at Spoon. He's trying to get back into the top 9 right now.
Yeah, so he's down 13.5 seconds from our race leader. Of course, he had that spin at Spoon and then had to go across the grass, and that avoiding action, Jerome Lamy all sideways, so through Spoon corner. And it's like Tausma is going to be easy pickings for our former race leader. Tausma, I think if he's smart, he won't really be fighting Jerome Lamy too much. There's no point. Jerome Lamy is quicker, but no, Tausma, so side by side through 130R. Tausma will have the inside line into the Casio triangle chicane, but Jerome Lamy just simply breaks later around the outside. Tausma a little bit compromised actually by Jerome Lamy's poor exit. Jerome Lamy not on the racing line, had to wait to get on the throttle, but Tausma was so close to Jerome Lamy that it almost nullified any advantage that Tausma might have had. I I think Lamy has that position. He's home and dry in 9th place. Next up is Romanelli, but all the time he's just losing time to Lucas Maruk in the lead, and his hopes, his dreams of winning here at Suzuka today are just falling away with every lap that he's stuck behind traffic and trying to make these moves. These sort of, he's battling it out, and if the drivers were a little bit sort of kinder to him and letting him by, which of course they don't have to be, they're all racing out there for position, he might have a chance. But if he encounters more drivers that want to race him, I think his chances of winning are very, very slim. Simone Fessi through Degner 1 and 2 looks very calm in the car. A lot calmer than Evan Way. I think Evan Way was off the track for more than he was on the track through the Degner complex.
Yeah, Evan Way having a little bit of issues. A little bit of a lockup as well for Simone Fessi, holding, just trying to hold off Evan Way, who is under pressure by Romanelli in this little group of 6. 3-car group for 6th place right here. 12 laps in on his 26th lap race here at Suzuka. You're watching the iGPFun Formula 3 Series presented by SRP and Virtual Racing School here on Apex Racing TV. And, iGPFun loves their new sponsors over at Sim Racing Pedals, as they are professionally designed for sim racers and professional drivers, improving your driving experience, increasing your consistency lap after lap, allowing you to brake later and obtain better control when accelerating out of corners. SRP.
SRP Pedals, as you rightly say, the new sponsor of the iGPFun series. Great to have them on board to this incredible league with incredible action so far. Halfway through this race at Suzuka, 13 laps of, I'm sure, action-packed racing to go. This is Ben Gietti on the outside of the number 35 car. 35 car, Marinero almost loses it on the exit of the chicane. Just has to manage his throttle, but goes to the inside. He wants his position back ASAP. He's going to have to stick it down the inside. Going to have to be late and brave under braking. Tyre Test will be absolutely screaming after that mistake, but he's managed to do it. He's up into P22 once again. Ben Gietti down into 23rd is, well, was all as that was going on. Darren Rowlandson and Nicholas Westman both have had separate incidents.
I don't know if you saw that, but Alvaro Marinero went really wide and got a little bit sideways on the outside of the S's right there, and it's supreme car control by Marinero to just hold it around that corner right there. A little bit farther back, Zolta Zollmutter under putting pressure on Patrick Olsen up ahead.
Oh, there's a spin in the back.
And around goes Olsen at the exit of Degna 1. It's the same exact thing that we saw Alistair Hay and McIntyre Jones's incident. He just went a little bit wide at the exit of Degna 1, got onto the curb, and just got shot off to the right.
Of the Degner complex. Absolutely disastrous for the drivers today. And what's going to happen? It's just on the grass, just on the, actually on the AstroTurf, isn't it? There's no grip out there. He's done well to keep it out of the barrier. He'll have to find some form of steering lock or even reverse to not hit the barrier. There's smoke though through Spoon. If that's a lockup or a spin, I'm not quite sure.
I would say lockup.
Up to 25th, nevertheless, is Jerome Lamy now. 2 cars battling up ahead. This is Evan Way and Romanelli.
Romanelli looking around to the outside, but Evan Way gets a little bit outside. They get make contact at the end of turn 1, and they're both into the wall. It's a light tap to the wall for Evan Way. Romanelli hitting the reverse gear. They're finding the reverse gear much faster than real-life drivers there. But a big contact right there, but a big game for Jerome Lamy as Evan Way and Romanelli make contact, exiting turns 1 and 2, and they're still following down the order. There is Andy Flitt passing the stricken Romanelli, who does have damage on the right side of his car. And Way is farther back down the field. Way got away easier than that, but I think Way has a little bit more damage than that of Romanelli.
Certainly looks that way through Dunlop corner. The car just so unstable. Potapenko now makes it past Evan Way.
Oh yeah, he's steering hard right.
He is. That car is looking very undrivable at the moment. He's going to have to limp it back to the pits. You can see the steering damage he's got. He's going to have some difficulties getting it turned in for the hairpin. Just about manages to do it, but at a much reduced rate, almost hits the wall. As the effect of the steering damage really presents itself. Rodrigo Duran now under pressure from Giuseppe Lafaro, who last time by set the fastest lap of the race. Giuseppe Lafaro just clean around the outside of Rodrigo Duran. Nothing Rodrigo could do, just Giuseppe Lafaro has found an extra gear at the moment. His pace is simply astonishing, and Lafaro up to the podium places. His next target, I hasten to add, I think is going to be Tony Jimenez. The gap is about 3 seconds, and I think Lafaro's got this, you know. What, about 9 laps to go? Watch Lafaro, he's got some incredible pace.
Yeah, Giuseppe Lafaro, we definitely know on how fast he is, and that fight for second place is going to be spicy at the end of this. The fight for third place is going to be spicy at the end of this, as, oh, that's a lot of curb by Alan Day right there, as he is trying to chase down Marinello, as Romanelli is in the pits, so this is now going to be the fight for 19th.
Romanelli coming into the pits after that accident at turn 1. Evan Way follows suit, so those two drivers at least down the order. Andy Flint in 13th place, coming under pressure from Robert Ridgway. So Robert Ridgway has dropped behind Flint, because we saw Robert Ridgway make that great move on Andy Flint's turn 1, so they've swapped places. Robert Ridgway's trying to do it all over again. American versus American driver. Degner 1 we go. Almost you have to call out every time a driver survives Degner, as it's just been so tricky for the drivers. I think that wind really playing havoc with these Formula 3 cars, very dependent on their downforce levels, and a gust of wind, an errant gust of wind as it were.
Oh, bad exit by Ridgway, coming out of the hairpin, the back end kicked out right there. And, you know, with that air, it's also putting pressure, more pressure on the tires in some situations by taking away that aero advantage. And so the tire wear is also being affected with that, as we can see some drivers really struggling on keeping the car planted coming out of corners, especially the hairpin. This is Romanelli. Romanelli back onto the track, just made a move on Keeler and Richie Robinson right now, and Romanelli makes that move on 26 after heading into the pits and getting his car repaired.
Yeah, got it all to do. About 9 laps to go in this race. Can, if he feels like it and has the pace, can make his way up the field. Ben Guilletti under pressure from Zoltan Zamota through Spoon Corner we head. Zamota just looking quicker in the mirrors. He's going to pull out to the inside. He's going to try the dangerous move through 130R. Very Michael Schumacher, Fernando Alonso-esque. Zoltan Zamota, though, just gets the move clean done. Runs a little bit wide, and Austin, he absolutely nailed it there. Great confidence from the German. Just manages just to place the car exactly where he needs to. Has enough grip, has enough confidence in the rear end of his car, and gets it done fairly easy. And this is Alan Lee being caught by Richie Robinson. That's Noel Richie Robinson. I do apologise. So Richie Robinson, has he been into the pits at any point? Because he's quite far down the order. No, so he's just must have had some form of incident out on track. I wonder if there's been sort of some incident. We've had so many sort of incidents where drivers haven't ended up with damage, just had to avoid and go off the track. Look at that, Jerome Lamy, Austin up to 6th place now. He's got past Simone Fessi. Lamy set the fastest lap last time by, 1 minute 51.6 compared to Lucas Baruch's 52.4. Lamy has got the pace, 12.5 seconds off the lead. It's a tall order, but you never know with Jerome Lamy.
Yeah, you really never know, as this is Pedro Perez defending from Romanelli. Romanelli putting in a lot of pressure through Degno 1 and 2. They got a little bit of loose right there, but Romanelli, we saw him make this move in the hairpin. Are we going to be seeing it again from way far back? It looked like he wanted to make a dive up ahead, as there's a little bit of smoke from a lockup. It might have been Patrick Rollins or Ben Goyette ahead of him, as here under pressure is Romanelli. Romanelli putting in the pressure, looking on to the outside, now to the inside, heading for Spoon Corner. They're side by side. They go diving up to the inside. Romanelli up in the 25th place.
We got a little bit wrong-footed through Spoon. If he had just seen that coming from Romanelli, he could have maybe got the cut back. That's exactly what Simone Fessi's been doing. Jerome Lamy passed him last lap, but Fessi just hanging on to the coattails of Jerome Lamy. Easily the fastest man out on track at the moment, just using his slipstream. Just come with him and see if you can get past, Luca Ferrani, even Rodrigo Duran if you're feeling particularly adventurous, but anything can happen in the iGPFun Formula 3 series. Giuseppe Lafaro once again going off the track. I think his line through the Degner section, naturally puts him wide, and it almost seems like every single lap he comes up on our timing software that he's been off the track. But I mean, I think our driver of the day easily, or at least my driver of the day, Felipe Dantas. I mean, he's on the verge of a top 10. He's up 36 positions, trying to make it 37. And I think he's going to do it, Williams up ahead, made a mistake through the hairpin turn 11. He's now under pressure through.
Here comes Dantas. Dantas, last lap. He had the fastest lap of the race. And here comes Dantas. 37 overtakes down into Spoon. Felipe Dantas up 37 spots to take 10th place. And he did not set a qualifying lap at the start of the session. And Felipe Dantas putting in absolute work, getting in the top 10 from starting 47th place, up 37 spots, and this is a jaw-dropping performance by Felipe Dantas.
Oh, it certainly is, but something's happened to Romanelli out on track. I think he's had some form of accident. So that 25th place has gone back towards Jabara as we see Romanelli now. He is going slow. What has happened to Sandro Romanelli into the hairpin? He's rightly pointed out, Austin hasn't locked a brake.
Too much mustard off the exit. This is going to be too much mustard. Back end just loops around right there. And no grip at all for Romanelli as they lose, I would assume, 4 spots from that incident. An unfortunate recovery by Romanelli as they've been involved in incident after incident today. But, that is just heartbreaking right there. Stu Millen for the Flaps VRT team, chasing down Andy Flint as Rodrigo Duran is falling down the field. Duran has had an incident, and that's a Degna too.
Duran, he was doing so well, and that's just gifted Jerome Leby another place. He's going to be so careful not to rejoin in this battle. That's Bloom, and Dantas is already up to 10th. He's got past Williams, and he's now looking at 9th place. Joris Bloom now through the hairpin, almost hitting the rear of Rodrigo Duran. Duran just adjusting to his new car. The tyres will be hotter than he would have expected them to be. Felipe Dantas just absolutely rapid out there. It almost seems like he's driving a Formula 2 car, just such as the pace that he's got. A little bit wide though through Spoon. That's going to compromise his exit. Watch Joris Bloom.
Overtakes Jimenez for 2nd place right now, but what the fight we are watching is this 4-car fight being led by Rodrigo Duran. Joris Bloom goes down to the inside. Dantas looking on to the outside. Dantas kind of boxed in right there. He has got nowhere to go as they're side by side through 130R. It's Bloom down to the inside. They touch wings and touch wheels right there. Bloom starting on to the outside right now as here comes Rodrigo Duran. Duran hops over to the corner right now. Duran gets punted off Bloom, and Duran, they touch out the exit of the corner, and that pushes Dantas up 38 spots right now into 9th place as Dantas and Bloom are nose to tail right now. They have Clark Williams right behind them as well as this 4-car fight is turned into a 3-car fight. Switchback move by Felipe Dantas. Dantas goes out to the inside and Bloom goes flying off the road. Bloom goes wide. Bloom regains back on the track, probably a little bit peeved off by what Dantas did right there, but Dantas up into 8th, Bloom in 9th place. Clark Williams in 10th, and this is a great 3-car fight right now.
Absolutely incredible driving by the Brazilian, just utterly incredible moves, and just a touch under brakes, just able just to plant the car where he wants it. Giuseppe Lafaro and Jimenez still battling it out for 2nd place. Giuseppe Lafaro having to get past. So Jimenez has managed to pass Lafaro. Lafaro not happy about it. Is he going to have a look at a move as we head into Spoon corner? He's got the inside line. Going to have to be late under brakes. And he sort of half-heartedly puts it to the inside. That Jimenez is going to be able to go all the way around the outside. He's going to have more overspeed as we head up towards 130R.
Lafaro had the advantage right there. He held it around to the inside right there, and he cleared him coming out of Spoon, but now here comes Jimenez. Jimenez is going to be getting the draft, heading into 130R, but Lafaro is going to be leading him out. Jimenez off the exit, expect him to be onto the inside, heading to the chicane. Yes, here we go right now. Jimenez and Lafaro going side by side. Lafaro, Giuseppe locks it up on the rounds around the outside, and Jimenez walks through for 2nd place, and this is a spectacular fight for 2nd place with 6 laps to go here at Suzuka.
In the slipstream, Joris Bloom down the, around the outside goes Clark Williams. Clark Williams takes that 10th place. Joris Bloom, though, wants that switchback. He's in the wheel tracks of Clark Williams as we head onto the back straight, pulls out immediately, so just goes to show how much extra speed Joris Bloom has over Clark Williams, but he's got it all to do. He's going to have to go all the way around the outside. No doubt Clark Williams is going to stick it on the inside, brake late, but Joris Bloom just simply goes a lot later, and I think he must have made some form of mistake throughout that lap, because Dantas is already 3 seconds up the road and already
he's in a fight.
1.6 seconds out behind Talsma. Can Dantas make it up 40 places in this race? I mean, surely he can't. He's 1.5 behind now, though. I think he might. I mean, you wouldn't bet against him. He's made a place, or he's made a move even. 39
He's the
times
fastest
this
driver
race.
out on track right now. He did set the fastest lap of the race of Felipe Dantas, but oh, we've cursed him! Dantas in Degna 1 and 2. Dangerous Degna 1 and 2. He gets onto the curb and Dantas has spun. Dantas down in the 10th.
Oh no, the curse of the commentator strikes
That's on
once
you.
again. I'm very sorry, Felipe. That was such a good run from you. Let's see what's happened through Dunlop. It's all looking good. Touches the grass on entry, but
it's the exit. It's the exact same incident that we've been seeing all day today. Exit of Degna 1 and entering Degna 2. Run a little bit wide, hit that curb on the outside, and the car just takes you around, and well, you're a passenger right there. Luckily, he's still in this race and still able to make that fight on Bloom and Williams right now, but as you say, number 40 looks a little bit off right now as Varane holding on someone Fessy as Bloom and Williams go side by side and are swapping spots right now as they're almost 3 wide. There's Dantas around the outside! Eggs entering triangle chicane. He falls to both of them on this lap and he takes it right back. Felipe Dantas, how do you do what you do? Wow. Can I get a replay of that? Forever. That was a beautiful move around the outside, but oh, there is Bloom and Dantas side by side. They touch on the entry. Williams switch back on Bloom right there. Williams backs off of the back of Bloom as it wants to be yours, Bloom versus Dantas, but Dantas is just too fast for Bloom to carry on as Bloom and Williams are just kind of locked in with each other and unable to separate from each other. And I can tell you, if I was Bloom or Williams, having a little bit of a smile on my face, but if I was Felipe Dantas, I would be jumping from joy from this amazing move. They're side by side heading into 130R. He gets an amazing run. Williams on the outside breaks early. And there is Bloom defending onto the inside. That's Dantas round the outside, laid onto the brakes. You see his car was kind of squirrely as he was fighting the wheel right there and makes a double overtake around the outside entering the triangle chicane. Wow, 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 wow.
What an absolute star we have on our hands. Felipe Dantas, just so much car control. Hats off to you, good sir. Can't say any more positive things about Felipe Dantas. I was going to make the joke, you know, Felipe baby, stay cool, but he didn't need that. He just instantly switched it on after making that minor mistake at Degna. Just was like, no, I'm going to get these places back. Got it back within, you know, the same lap almost. Simone Fessy trying to make it past. For Luca Varane has the idea of diving to the inside. Luca Varane, though, saw that one early on, stayed in the middle of the track. Simone Fessy a little bit too far back to make any sort of move on the straight. You're going to have to be Dan Deere on the brakes if he wants any form of chance of getting past Luca Varane on this lap. Lap 22 out of 26, 4 more to go. Simone Fessy just too far back on Luca Varane. I think Simone Fessy needs to compromise his way through the chicane, or compromise his chances of making an overtake through the chicane. And what I mean by that is don't try and go for a move. Don't try and sort of, you know, Fessy's so close. There's Bloom and Williams once again swapping places, but Simone Fessy needs to just not go for a move into the final chicane. He just needs to follow Luca Varane and focus on getting the best exit out of the final corner, get him into the run of into turn 1, and then use that S section just to break the slipstream gap. If Simone Fessy can do it, understeer through Degna 1, oversteer we saw earlier on in the lap for the Frenchman, and he is struggling out there, almost beaching himself on the curb on the exit of Degna 2. What an incredible race, Austin. I mean, I have the biggest smile on my face, and Dantas is actually coaching Adam Talsma up again. The gap is not as close as it was, but
last time you mentioned that he had an incident, I'm not even going to pay attention until it's 1 second.
I have faith. I have faith.
You also said that last time.
I also do. Oh, Jerome Levy's up to second.
Lafaro and Jimenez have had an issue. Tony Jimenez and Giuseppe Lafaro have had an issue. This is entering Spoon corner. I think Lafaro might have taken too much speed into here. Yeah, he's caught the outside curb, just like Jerome Lamley did, and spins out of Spoon. And now where is Tony Jimenez? As there goes Jerome Lamley. And Jimenez in the background I think they did exactly the same thing. Tony Jimenez, I think he saw Lafaro and he might have got onto the brakes and brake spun his car right there. He's done exactly the same thing. Both of them running wide onto the curb, and Jerome Lamley is back into second place after falling down from 10th place earlier on in this race. By doing exactly that, he is back into second place where he started. What a recovery drive by Jerome Lamley, but absolute heartbreak by Lafaro and Tony Jimenez.
Could you? Two drivers battling it out so closely for so long of the race, just make the same mistake. Joris Bloom sideways through turn one.
Too much.
That's going round. That is going round. Just manages to avoid the barrier. Joris Bloom has been playing, dicing with the devil through turn one, especially with his battles with Felipe Dantas, but finally comes off worse. Luca Varani up to fourth. Lafaro now dropping off the back of Jerome Lamey. Varani smells the podium here. I said he's always in it when it counts at the end of the race, and he certainly is at the moment. He is staring down the barrel of a podium place. Lafaro is going to have overheated tyres. He's going to have tyre wear. Simone Fessi, though, wants that podium just as much as
That is Jimenez
Luca
in the background.
I mean,
Jimenez in the background. Yeah, he back end kicked out right there. Had to lock up to keep the car pointed forward as Luca Varani chasing down Lafaro. They are closing in on lap traffic right now, and Lafaro through this corner is definitely going to be a little bit cautious, especially after last lap's incidents, as there's a 159 lap car of Noel Richie Robinson, as that's going to give Luca Varani a little bit of a draft advantage heading into 130R, as Lafaro is going to be leading these two right now, but Simone Fessi and Luca Varani in the fight for fourth place, chasing down third. They're going to be a little bit of traffic situation right there, as Noel gives them as much spots as they can, as Luca Varani and Lafaro with Simone Fessi. This three-car fight could determine who finishes in third with 3 laps to go. 24, 25, 26 laps left, and so that is 3 laps to go. Fessi following Varani. Varani's making it down to the inside, heading into turns 1 and 2. If I was Simone Fessi and Luca Varani, I would not be focusing on fighting each other, because all I would just be focusing on is trying to catch up to Giuseppe Lafaro. And speaking of catching up, he's caught up Adam Tazza. Felipe Dantas looking for number 40, trying to enter 7th place into the S's.
Absolutely incredible drive. I've got the biggest smile on my face. Congratulations, Felipe. Even if it all ends in tears, it doesn't matter. He's made it up 39 places. He caught Talsma in a matter of laps at the fastest lap of the race. 2 laps to go, 1 minute 50.9. Our first driver into the 1 minute 50s. Felipe Dantas just driving the absolute wheels off his Formula 3 machinery at the moment, setting up Adam Talsma as we head towards the hairpin. It'll be a very late dive to the inside if he fancies getting him past at the hairpin.
Switchback move, that's a late exit by Talsma. Talsma got a little bit carried out wide, coming out of the hairpin, and now this long right-hander. This is where we've seen Dantas makes most of this move. He's got the trap. Dantas looking down to the inside for number 40. They're side by side, entering Spoon. Dantas goes late onto the brakes. Felipe Dantas. He's got to exit the curb right there. Yes, he does. At Spoon, Felipe Dantas up 40 spots from 47th all the way to 7th. Felipe Dantas. Wow.
Wow, indeed. And honestly, if he hadn't have made that mistake at Degner too, he would be knocking on the door of Tony Jimenez after Jimenez made that mistake at Spoon a few laps ago, which just goes to show Dantas' incredible pace. He's 25 seconds off the lead, and he started last. He was the last car on the grid, and he is 25 seconds. And I mean, you could lose that in a few laps with field spread if the race is particularly large, which this grid is. So absolutely incredible work. Simone Fessi trying to get past Luca Varani for 4th place. Giuseppe Lafaro just checking out at the front of this battle. James Thrulis, though, trying to get past Potapenko. Potapenko's first race in the iGPFun series. Great debut from him in 16th overall, up 11 places. James Thrulis, though, up 15 places for himself. 3/10 separating the two drivers as they cross the line. 2 laps to go in this race. This is Victor Barris in 24th place, and at one point Victor Barris was in the pits with damage. He's made it past his starting position already. Down the inside he goes of Rowlands. Patrick Rowlands just concedes the place, and Victor Barris in 23rd place. So, you know, you can never say it's over in Formula 3. You've always just got to keep on working at it. And talking of that, McIntyre Jones had that spin earlier on, but you know, we saw what happened to Will earlier on.
Fighting with, we saw what happened with him and Hay, but McIntyre Jones is still in it, and he's actually in a fight with Patrick Olsen. These two drivers have had incidents with each other. They might be a lap down, but they're still going to be fighting with each other. They have Jerome Langley closing in on them right now, but they're going to go side by side for 31st. McIntyre Jones and Olsen down to the inside at 130R. Will McIntyre Jones up into 31st.
McIntyre Jones, though, has got to be a little cautious as we see Luca Varani and Simone Fessi battling it out once again. Simone Fessi to the inside. Great move by him.
That is a dive.
Though. He's not going to get it stopped. He's just managed to keep it on the track. But Luca Varani is going to have such a run out of the final corner as we start the final lap of the race. Luca Varani got the run, got the speed. I think Varani's going to do his damn hardest to get past Simone Fessi for that 4th place.
Here we go, side by side. Varani trying to look around to the outside of the last side. They have a slow car on the inside, and Varani spins, and that's Langley on the outside. He spun around. Simone Fessi is in 3rd. Heartbreak, heart attack. Oh my gosh, Simone Fessi is in 3rd. Jerome Langley is on the outside. That was Patrick Olsen, the lap car that was going slow onto the inside. And I think Langley was around to the outside and just brake spun it right there. Here's what happened. Yeah, there's Patrick Olsen going very slow to 78. And Langley has cleared him. And I think Langley's just carried too much speed in the final quarter, in the final lap. Oh no, Jerome Langley spins around. And then Luca Varani, we saw him have that little incident as well. He kept it planted. So Varani, he's actually gained 4th place from all that right there. Simone Fessi is in 3rd. Langley down into 5th. But Lucas Baruch, what a day it's been. Pole by 9,000ths of a second on his last lap and is leading this race by 15 seconds. Absolute dominating performance, clean performance, and no holds barred performance as well. He was fighting with Jerome Langley at the end of lap 1, but Langley had that incident. But it's going to be a digital Apex win for the Canadian number 19 of Lucas Baruch.
Great drive for our championship leader, going to be extending his points gap at the top of the timing stand. Giuseppe Lafari going to come across the line in 2nd place. We're a bit surprised after starting that lap in 3rd. We'll be very happy though after himself making a mistake. Simone Fessi, after overtaking Luca Varani in incredible style through the final bus stop, the final chicane. And Felipe Dantas, 7th place, take about 40 places gained in this race. Absolutely incredible drive, but they're still racing in the background. That's Robert Ridgway and Ben White racing it. Ben White to the outside. Robert Ridgway sideways through the final corner. And I think Ben White's just going to get this unless Robert Ridgway can find some form of boost button on his steering wheel. Just has to concede for 13th place, but they're still racing in the background.
Yeah, Alan Day, oh my gosh, track limits much, but going way on the outside, trying to catch up to Nick Carney. Heading to one last time into the chicane right there, but it's going to be separated by 6/10. Alan Day up 9 spots for him. Down the field, this is Alan Lee, and I believe putting on pressure of Frankie up ahead of him. Frankie Forchica is still nose to tail right now, heading into 130R, and Allen, he's got a good run. He's looking onto the outside. Frankie defending onto the inside. Frankie hopping over to the curb. Allen taking the racing line right there, but Lee, I think, is just too far away to get the speed off the exit, and Frankie Franchica is going to be finishing at 26, Lee at 27th. Richie Robertson, Keylaren chasing down Alessandro Romanelli. And Romanelli, up and down day like a roller coaster. Luckily, there's a theme park right next to Suzuka, so, you know, it's not out of place here, but very unfortunate day for Romanelli. He finishes down in 20th. Keylaren Richie Robertson up 15 spots in 29th, and Matthew Gracie in 30th.
are your race results. Lucas Marut, our race winner. 15 seconds separates him in second place. Giuseppe Lafaro, Simone Fessi rounding out your podium places. Luca Varani just missing out after that chaos on the final lap. Jerome Lamy as well. What a race, or what could have been for Jerome Lamy. Had the pace to win today, but mistakes. And he finished in 5th. Tony Jimenez as well made a mistake. He was battling for 2nd place, finishes in 6th place. Felipe Dantas, as we've been mentioning, up 40 places in 7th. Adam Talsma 8th. Clark Williams 9th. Andy Flynn rounds out your top 10. Stu Milne just misses out on your top 10. He's in 11th. Ben White 12th. Robert Ridgway 13th. Richard Van Veen 14th. Joris Blum is 15th. He had some form of issue on the final few laps and manages to make it past Potapenko and Thulis, who also had a very adventurous final lap for those two drivers. They are at 16th and 17th respectively. Nick Carty 18th, Alan Day 19th, Zoltan Zamota up to 20th place, Evan Wade 21st, Victor Barris 22nd after recovering after that early damage, Ben Gietti 23rd, Patrick Rowlands 24th, Jeffrey Brewer 25th. Frankie Franchica is 26th with Alan Lee 27th. Romanili, disappointingly for him, in 28th place with Killer and Richie Robinson in 29th. Matthew Gracie is 30th and our final of the drivers who finish on the lead lap. Will McIntyre Jones, was 31st. Patrick Olsen 32nd. Noel Richie Robinson 33rd. Colin Nicol 34th with Giovanni Stiletto 35th. Matt Brewer 36th with Pedro Jaraba even is 37th. Rodrigo Duran in 38th. So we've now got into our retirements. Pedro and Rodrigo both retiring before the checkered flag. Alvo Maranello is another driver to not finish. Darren Rowlinson as well. Nicholas Westman, Simone Gabriel, Giacomo Murgia, Hector Balaguer, Alistair Hay, Darren Ergel, Michael Coffrey did not take the start, neither did Greg Smith. So we had 46 cars on the grid, and half of that, or almost all of them, were overtaken at some point by Felipe Dantas, and I just cannot get over that stat, Austin. That was just amazing.
That is a heck of a drive for Felipe Dantas, and I'm going to be honest, if Felipe was streaming that, that is a video that I would love to watch, because that was a drive and a charge by Felipe Dantas. It honestly, it might have looked like he was playing the F122 game on easy mode.
I mean, I wouldn't just want to watch it once. I think I'd want to watch it over and over and over and over again. I mean, supreme driving. And what could have happened if he had qualified? Did he want to qualify? Did he have any issues? I don't know, but if he had qualified...
showed up late. I think he might have showed up late. That is the only reason why I know he would be down there. He did not put in a valid qualifying lap or a regular lap, but man, that wraps up this week here at Suzuka for the iGPFun Formula 3 Series presented by SRP. Next week, we head over to one of my favorite tracks in America. We head over to Sonoma Raceway with the Cup layout, so that'll be using all of it, and that massive carousel, that downhill carousel. The hills of Sonoma are going to be alive with a lot of sounds of F3, and it's going to be a lot of fun next week here on Apex Racing TV. Thank you everybody for joining us here for this round of the iGPFun Formula 3 Series presented by SRP and Virtual Racing School. I've been joined by Sebastian Bosher Williams and Mark Tranter in the production booth, and I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.